Well, working 10 hours a day really has impacted my build time. I'm only up to about 107 hours. So I only gained about, well, probably 108 hours. I'll have to figure it out. Well, I'm going to set up to cut my bushings today. So, show you how I do it. And so if you have somebody that has a machine shop, or if you have access to a machine shop, just whip out your own bushings real quick. You don't even have to worry about how straight this is, because we're going to face it off even anyway. I started to write a program yesterday, and then I realized I already have a program saved, aircraft bushings. There's the positions I can use based on the diameter I'm using. So I should be able to get 8 bushings out of that block of aluminum. It's not a waste of aluminum because that was out of the scrap bin anyway. Don't need a circle jerk. And I used this program to create this one, which doesn't bump off the loop as much whenever. I'll have to look at what I changed on it. But anyways, so the last bushings I made were 1/4 inch ID, 9/16 OD. Those were for the cable pulley, the centers for the cable pulley wheels. So all I had to do is change this here X to a 1/4 inch. It was bigger, and then I'm going to spot drill it and pre-drill it with 11/16, and then we'll drill ream it with the 3/16 drill. That should be close enough. Actually, 3/16 will not be close enough, because 3/16, if I'm drill reaming, is going to be almost exactly 187 thousandths. And the bolts, the AN3 bolts, are 194 thousandths. So I just have to be hand reaming them back open again. So I might as well get a 194 thousandths drill, which I think 183 and a half, I mean 193 and a half is a number 10 drill right in the center there. So we'll change that to a number 10 drill. So we'll just face off this block real quick. And I guess we'll bump it in a little bit. Well, we're really busy at work, so it's really hard to get time off or take the time to make my bushings, but I figure I'd come in and before I punch in, I'll go ahead and run these bushings real quick. We'll just give it a spot for each position. It's a way big machine for what I'm doing, but hey, it's what I got, where I'm working right now. And I really don't have the spindle RPM to do drilling, especially small diameter drilling like that, but just have to run the right chip load, and that's it. The main hassle you have with cutting aluminum is making sure it don't gall up on your tool and get all gummy and bust your tool. I opted to go with the number 9 drill instead of a number 10. Drill size, the hole size for a number 10 is 194 and a half or 193 and a half, something like that. But when I mic'd it, it was 192. That'd be too tight for the AN3 bolts. So number 9 drill, it's miking 195, so that should work. Of course, we're drill reaming, so we're just shoving it right on through at a slower RPM. And of course, check the first hole before going on. And there's probably 1/1000th play there. That's good enough. And this is a 193 and a half, so we should be good. Alright, for cutting the OD, we're going to helix it in. We'll start off just by calipering 224, the diameter, and we'll go ahead and set the offset. That's offset 36. And so 224, that'd be 0.112, and input. Now we'll touch it off, but first let's make sure. Let's see, C6, that's the approach. C is the approach to a cutter comp and the diameter. So we'll go C, let's say 0.26, and let's see, that should be good. And we're going to add a little bit to cutter comp. Yeah, you can't even see it, can you? Yeah. Add a couple thousandths to that, and that'll be 4/1000ths that it'll change the diameter, just to make sure we don't get it too small. And then we'll mic the first piece, or first little bit that it cuts, and then reset that so it finishes exactly what we want. Now the optimal tool for this would have been a 2-flute. I got a 4-flute end mill. And does that focus? Nope. Anyways, it's going to be a real issue. Could be a real issue with galling and that, so I'm going to have to blast the coolant to it. And right off the get-go, I find a problem with my macro, so I got to come in here and do a quick edit so it'll do what I want it to do. If I can. Alright, we'll see if we have a crack. That's an odd move. Can't remember why I did that. Oh, just for clearance, so it comes pumped on and off up at the top. Alright, we'll just let it get just enough that we can set a pair of mics on it, and then we'll measure it. So I got it to mic almost exactly what I want. Not a very smooth bushing, but that might be a good thing. Well, I have a steam chest nozzle to do the process engineering and programming on. So while that's running, I'll be able to go ahead and finish out the rest of these here bushings. Well, I got 8 very nice bushings, so it's about dead nuts to what I wanted them to be. So, and I can cut them off the exact length that I need them to be. Right now they're 1 1/4 inches, and that's bigger than any of them I need.